What are the 4 types of real estate? In this video, we're going to talk about those 4. How do you decide which one's best for you and which one do you start with? There are 4 main types of real estate. We're going to talk about all of them. So specifically, we're going to talk about residential, but in there, I'm going to give you a little feedback on looking at commercial as an option, right? And what that line is. There's a very distinctive number of units that goes and makes you residential to commercial. We're going to talk wholesaling, right? How do you put a wholesale deal together? And then we're going to talk about fix and flip. I got to say it's, right up there at my favorite. And then last but not least for cash flow, we're going to talk about lease options, short-term rentals, Airbnbs, Airbnb arbitrage. So I got a few packed into 4 categories, but let's begin. Okay, as we start talking about real estate, residential, commercial, what is that line? So it's 4 units. 4 units makes it a commercial property. And I don't think a lot of people tell you that or know that unless you are deeper in the real estate business. So you can do a single family. Those are interesting. I got to say I'm not a fan because you got one project and 100% of a problem if it goes wrong. As I coach clients, whether they're, right sizing, downsizing, going into student housing, at least get 2, get a duplex or even a triplex because you can always live in one, right, as you're renting and fixing the rest. So you can actually cash flow. Even if they're crappy, it's fine. Somebody needs a place to live. I actually am doing a project in the middle of Nevada and there is 0 housing. So I can tell you even a tiny little, I shouldn't say a piece of crap, but an interesting fixer-upper, people will live there. They need places to live depending on the geo-targeted and demographic area that you're in. So I love more than 1 unit because I love the cash flow, and anything more than 4. Really, I love 4s, 8s, 16. I love the 12 and 16 plexes. That's just a nice, I'm going to say a beginner spot. Number 1, if you need a place to live and you're single, go live in one of them as you're fixing the rest of the units up. Great place to do it. You keep moving units. The whole thing's phenomenal. You can start cash flowing right away. If you can, a couple places that I will highly encourage you, and I've done it in every place we go to, is local firemen and local cops, especially if they're willing to park their car. You can give them an incentive on rent because I can tell you it will change the entire demographic of your clients, of your renter base, of who's going to be living in those complexes. So the other one would be actually people who want to help do the work. All right, and they can earn their way into those rent. And some of you that are listening that are more mature say those are really beginning moves. Exactly. These are really beginning moves, but how can you get it done with a lot more efficiency given what's going on in the market? So those are clearly ways to start. And again, 4 and up is where I would start. So it isn't just, it's residential living, but it's actually going to be commercial lending and commercial real estate. Now, do you want to go into land? And I love land. I love development. Like those are bigger and different strategies. We can get back to those. If you're interested in any of these, in fact, right now, I'd like you to make a comment. Get into the comments and just tell me, what are you interested? Where do you want to start? Do you want to start in fix and flip? Do you want to start with a short-term rental? Do you want to start with lease option? How do you want to start? Give me some comments. Let's start a dialogue and a conversation of how I'm going to help you be a millionaire in real estate. Now, let's go into wholesaling as another strategy and a second one, which every guru, and I don't know that I agree with it, but it seems to be the thing out there. If you go to any, online bookstore, any guru, they're going to say, start with wholesaling. It's easy. So here's what wholesaling is. You're going to find a project, right? So you're going to find a seller, and then you're going to marry them up with a buyer. And then you're going to arbitrage, meaning make the spread in the middle as you walk them into a title company. Sounds easier than it is, especially in today's environment. Right? Of can meetings be together? Do they want their closings virtually? How do you send the notary out? There's a few more dynamics because of the pandemic that you're going to have to work around. But here's how it can work. Is you got to find databases. And there are all sorts of databases that you can buy and rent all over the internet. And again, be very careful because a lot of them are scams. But there are some very viable options. As a client of ours, we'll give you those names of who I know have really good lists. They have buyer lists, they have seller lists, and then you can work through the lists. And then what do you really become? You become a marketer because you have to market to the sellers, you got to market to the buyers, and you're going to have a great relationship with title companies to actually marry that up in the middle. All right, so good luck with that. Let's go to number 3, my favorite, which are fix and flips. Because I like that you're going to be in, I like that you're going to be out, and you don't have a long-term risk involved. The only way you can really screw it up, you screw it up on the buy because you paid too much. But where I see women, you screw it up is you make it a home instead of just a house. You're not going to live there. Do not over remodel. You don't need to put in every high-end little trinket. Now, for you to force rents, which is Jesse, who's one of my partners up in Ohio, just is brilliant at this. It's all the little stuff. It's all the tiny little stuff. In fact, Justin and I have been doing some of that in Ohio, and then we did a bunch of it down in our Ozark properties. It's the small technology. So instead of just having, an electrical outlet, right? Put in all the USB, put in all the technical recharging stations throughout the whole house. That is not expensive to do. Super simple, highly convenient. It just upgrades the whole property. You can take a 20-year-old property and just put in a variety of different tech. Same with lighting. And lighting can just be changed out fairly quickly. You can put in higher tech lighting. You can even put in voice lighting. You can put in voice locks. There's a lot you can do that is very, very inexpensive, but increases and forces the rent. It doesn't have to be in granite countertops, and it doesn't have to be in brilliant floors. People, believe it or not, don't care. One of the things Justin did, which I thought was brilliant, is right next to the dishwasher, there was this extra little space, and he put in, I think they only got 6 wine bottles, but put in just a really, simple, easy wine rack. Those little tiny things. I could do a whole YouTube channel on just the accessories, the details of keeping very cost efficient, but really high forced rents. I mean, I'm talking 10, 20% more in rent that you can actually grab by doing some of these strategies. But fix and flips, how do you get funding for it? I got to talk about that because it is a gold mine right now. I mean, you have to be completely asleep to not understand the amount of money and financing available to everyone right now in the United States. So if you can't qualify because you've had a bankruptcy, you've got bad credit, something's happened to you, then you better find a partner and you better find them fast. Plus, I would find partners anyway that have more experience. So I would put a lot of that together. And again, as a client of ours, I want you to click on the link below. I want you to subscribe. I want you to be here every day. And if you're serious, I want you to call our office and say, I'm serious, I'm in, I want to be a real estate millionaire with Loral. And we're going to walk you through these strategies. So before I talk about due diligence and vacation rentals and a few more things to end our video, so stay tuned. I got to take a huge bat to HGTV. I love HGTV. They sold out their programming years ago. So just because it's HGTV, which is high quality, just like Food Network, high quality, within there, you can't just say that the shows are. You really need to do some homework, right? Because I know Grant Cardone and I'll just tell you this transparently. I'd love to have, Grant make his comments, but he and I were interviewed to be on a show together, to do a real estate show. And it was a fix and flip, and my commentary and his commentary, and both of us walked back to our lives of being, the influencers, the educators, the gurus that we are. What's interesting is a lot of people are just cast to be characters. They actually don't know a darn thing about it. They just look good. They look, a certain way. They look a certain way together. I got to tell you this too. Some of the people that are married on TV shows aren't. They're just casted together. Just remember this. Here's what I'm going to say. Dr. Phil taught me this. He's like, Loral, you have a heart and soul for actually caring about the entrepreneur and doing the education. Out here on TV, I don't care what show it is, we entertain you. So just remember, TV is not where you go do homework like the internet. The internet's the bathroom wall. Anybody can write anything, do anything. You have to do your due diligence, which I'm going to speak to you in a minute about that. Before I do that, though, I got to put in one of the fastest, hottest, and it's not new. It's just fast and hot right now. It's trending because people are moving quickly and they need places to live. So I know someone right now who traveled the world with me and decided to completely right size, pick up his family and live in an RV for a while this all went on. And since then has moved Airbnb, short-term rentals, 95 homes. Now, some of you say, well, I don't have the endurance for that, right? So they live really lean. They don't carry around a whole bunch of stuff. They're not stuff people. They don't move a lot of stuff from one place to the other. But I'll tell you, there are more and more millennials that are doing that strategy where they just don't want to be burdened with the buy. You can tap into those markets where you can tap short-term Airbnb, short-term rentals. You got a gold mine. So again, I'm going back to database. So some of you are in real estate and you leave the marketing side. Where are the people? Like the database people. Like I know that Justin and I, just from having people Airbnb our projects in the Ozarks, ask where else do you have Airbnb projects? Because when they fall in love with what you do in your rehabs and how you work and what you do, they'll follow you around. So I can promise you there is more to real estate than most people are telling you. So lean in, become a client, let me help you. 12, 18, 24 months. Which one are you going to pick to become a millionaire? Now, I'd be remiss to leave without due diligence. So due diligence, number one, and I have a checklist, and I want you to go see, another YouTube channel. I have YouTube topics just on due diligence. But specifically on this one, I want to talk about your teammates. Who are you partnering with? And you say, well, I'm just doing this by myself. Well, there are no such thing as self-made millionaires. You got to have a team. So like I could be your mentor. You're going to need somebody who specializes. I can just tell you who you need. If you want to be and run the business yourself, you're going to need some electrical, plumbing. You're going to need somebody who has really some high touch construction, detailing. Ideally, you put somebody on your team that has finance and deal structure options. And somebody's got to do all the work. So the other thing you could do is you go to a construction management school that's local in your area and get interns to come in and actually help supplement your workforce, given that workforces are hard to find. So you can do this. There's lots of ways to do real estate. I talk specifically about 4. I want you to click on the link below where I walk you through my Millionaire Maker Blueprint. How did I become a millionaire? What are the strategies and a lot of the depth of exactly how I did it? It's about a 186-page book that comes with that once you download the blueprint. So get over there. I'll see you on the other side.